What's up guys, it's Average Ol, making average content for the average viewer, and today, you guessed it, I want to talk about skill-based matchmaking in Cold War. Now, you may be thinking, but Average Ol, haven't you covered this to death? And to that I say, for as long as the Cold War SBMM system continues to be the biggest contributing factor to my utter discontent for this game, then I will continue to cover it until my face turns blue. Now, if you have been baited into the title, then I feel like I should explain myself a bit. Of course, I don't literally mean that there is no SBMM in Cold War, but the point I want to make is that the SBMM here is serving a completely different purpose here than it ever has in any other franchise. I put it to you that the system that Activision has employed here is not, in fact, a way of matching up similarly skilled players in order to have healthy competitive matches, but instead is a way of fixing the matches so that the outcome of every single game that you play in this video game is pre-decided before it has even begun. Before we go any further, I'd just like to thank you all for your recent support and say that if you are new here and you enjoy hearing a ginger-bearded 20-something bloke sarcastically expressing what you're thinking, then it would be awesome if you'd subscribe. Okay, so let me explain myself. Just briefly, if we look at Rainbow Six Siege as an example, the SBMM system in that game means that you are given a rank based on your performance, and the more that you continue to improve, the more that your skill rank increases, and as a result you are put into a pool of players who are similarly skilled as you. Because of this system, if you have an awful game, you will see a reduction in your rank, but the difference here is that there is an actual tangible figure that you can see, and even if you do terrible, you are still going to be placed with similar people because it takes more than a few bad games to drop your rank. This creates a rigid matchmaking system by which you should always be playing at the top of your game, and you get physical results that show you if you are performing well and climbing, or if you are not and you are falling. Now, in Cold Sweat, as Blame Truth so aptly named it, this system does not work in a way that is designed to make every game competitive and so you can edge your way up the ranks. Instead, this game is designed to make sure that you are given just enough hope that things are going to get better so that you are hooked. The thing is that this system is designed so that you have a few bad games in a row and you begin to have a bad time, then the game almost takes pity on you and graces you with what appears to be an easier lobby. Now, in actual fact, what is going on here is that the people in this lobby are people who are actually not as skilled as you, but they are coming off the back of a few good games against easier enemies, and so the pattern continues. What this means for Cold War is that every game you play is essentially fixed. If you're doing well, don't think it's because you finally cracked the code and from here on out you're a god. It's purely because Activision want you to stick around, so they give you an easy lobby to level the playing field, and similarly, if you are doing bad, it's because it's someone else's turn to have a good game. What all of this means is that no matter how much you sweat and hone your skills, there will always be someone who is better than you, and it will always be their turn to have a good game at some point. My last two videos have been about YouTubers who are using this system to their advantage, and ways in which you might be able to reverse boost, and everyone who watched those videos agreed that reverse boosting is bad, when in actual fact the game itself is reverse boosting for us. If we are an above average player, we aren't placed in lobbies with players of an average skill level. Instead, we are placed with people who are the same as us or better until we crumble for a few games, and then the game decides to give us a bot lobby. And look, I'm all for healthy competition in games, and if this game had a ranked playlist, I would play the shit out of it, but at the moment I feel like it's never in my control to do well at this game. It's never down to my individual skill level, and it's always down to when the game decides it's my turn to have fun. And all of this would be fine if it wasn't for the copious amounts of mechanics in this game that are clearly designed for casual play. The whole point of COD is to be able to complete challenges and go for high-end camos and streaks, but because of this god-awful system, none of this is possible. Why make it so that I have to get 3 kills in a row with a launcher that does less damage than a midget's meat slap if you're going to put me in a lobby where the only way to compete is to have one of the 3 meta weapons that I already have gold? Why give us the ability to be rewarded for going on kill streaks when you're purposefully making it so that my games should be as close as possible with a KD as close to 1 as possible? It's the equivalent of there being a high-end boxing match, and to win, both fighters have to be on top of their game, but they also have been told that they have to land a backflip. and then they get paid more. You can't win a match if you're constantly trying to land a bloody backflip. Treyarch have created a game that in my opinion has the potential to be awesome, but they are being bottlenecked by a system that a publisher has imposed on them, and as a result works in complete juxtaposition to the core aspects of this video game. You want to get dark matter? Good for you, but be prepared to want to stab yourself in the eye after it. Or better still, if you want a better time, try working on the knife and the launcher for 5 games in a row and then swap to the MP5 for the 6th. It's ridiculous that if I have a really good game, I am not excited about it. I feel deflated because I'm certain of 2 things. Number 1, that I only had this game because I got Riley Reeded the game before, and number 2 is that because I dared to have fun, Activision is going to go in dry and give me a prolapse in the next game. I really enjoy this franchise, but god is it hard to stay enthused when I feel like I have no control over my performance. Back to my point, of course this is a form of skill-based matchmaking, but please don't mistake that for a system that is fair and in the interest of competition. It's a system that is created to keep audience retention high and ultimately get people to spend their money on a gun that has an anime girl with big norks on the side. It is purely a way to monetize the game, and when we look at it as such, it's so much worse than loot boxes and paid DLC, because neither of those two actively affected your ability to have fun within the game, and neither of these two things manipulated every single game you play to the point where you can predict with almost certainty if you're going to win or lose. Anyway, that's about all I wanted to say today. Those of you who have watched these videos for a while will know that I love to see who sticks around until the end. So if you're still here, I'd like you to let me know by answering this question down in the comments. Would you prefer this skill-based matchmaking system or the return of loot boxes? Anyway, that's it from me today. I'm Average Joel. Peace.